Aloha, my name is Diana Johnson, and I live in Auburn, Washington, about an hour south of Seattle, but I'm originally from Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm here in my mother-in-law's beautiful kitchen because it's bigger and brighter and nicer than my tiny apartment kitchen, and they have a television and the complete setup I would need to do the cook-along with Chef Gordon Ramsay. I first became a fan of Chef Gordon Ramsay about 2 years ago when I was a beta tester for Hulu.com. One of the shows on Hulu was called Hell's Kitchen, and I was both fascinated and terrified as I watched this ranting, raving chef terrorize the contestants night after night. I can single-handedly give that show credit for encouraging me to try making risotto. As I watched the contestants cry over their failed risotto every night, I decided that it was something I just had to try to make. Of course, I had a couple of failures, I admit, though I didn't cry. But in the end, I ended up perfecting the recipe, and I love it because it's so versatile. I discovered it's something I can really make with about anything. I can also give Chef Ramsay credit for teaching me that creme fraiche makes the best scrambled eggs. And when we got our fourth of a cow this year from a local farm, the first thing I said was, "Finally, I can afford to make Chef Ramsay's beef Wellington." I haven't gotten to that yet since we just picked up our beef recently, but it's on my list. My personal cooking journey started in the kitchen with my mom when I was just a little girl. Some of my favorite memories with her happened there. Like the time when she said, "It's garnish day," got a book of garnishes, and we spent hours making every single one in the book. Of course, the next day we had to have a party to use them all. Or the time we had a rake and bake party, when all my little friends came over and we got to cut out sugar cookies in the shape of leaves and decorate them really pretty. And then my mom baked them while we all raked up all the leaves in her yard. She's a smart lady, my mother. About 10 years ago, my family left Hawaii and I stayed behind. And that's when I learned how expensive living in Hawaii really is, especially after September 11th happened and tourism in Hawaii died. As a dancer on a cruise ship, I lost my job along with thousands of other people in the islands. This was when I realized what it really means to go hungry. There was one month where I only had a jar of peanut butter and a loaf of bread to eat for the entire month. Eventually, I got another part-time job, and then I was able to afford about $1 or $2 for food a day. So I started going to fast food restaurants. I would spend $1 for lunch and $1 for dinner getting something off of their dollar menu. And that's how I ate for about a year. I really thought that that was the only way I could afford to eat. After about a year of living like that, a friend gave me a bag of groceries, and I was shocked to discover that with that one bag of groceries, I could cook enough meals to last me over a week and not eat the same thing every day without following recipes. It was like a time of awakening, and I suddenly realized that with my $10 to $14 a week I was spending on food, I could go to the grocery store, get a bag of groceries, and create things that were good for me while having fun in the kitchen. The blog was really just for my own personal use, but next thing I knew, I was getting comments and emails pouring in from people saying things like, "Thank you so much for a recipe that uses such basic ingredients. I have so many food allergies, I can't eat anything that I could buy in the store." Or, "I can't believe that you came up with a recipe that'll get my son to eat vegetables." I began to realize that the recipes I was putting on there were actually helping people and in some cases changing their lives. There are a lot of people out there who feel the way I used to, that they can't afford to eat healthy or to cook. I now have anywhere from 500 to 1,000 people visiting my blog a day, and I'm in talks with the city about teaching cooking classes to low-income families in our area. This is all really exciting, but also really overwhelming because I'm just a home cook. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty fearless in the kitchen, and my experiments tend to work out really well. But most of what I know is self-taught, and if I don't know how to do something, I'm really good at Googling it. I would love to be able to do a cook-along with such an incredible chef, not only for my own benefit and my family who I'll be cooking for, but also for all of my blog readers, so many of whom are really intimidated by cooking. I would love to be able to pass along what I learned to them. So I hope that you choose me to cook along with Chef Gordon Ramsay, because you won't just touch my life, you'll touch thousands. Thank you so much for your time. Aloha hui hou.